Welcome back to Hack Hunter, everybody. If you're new to the show, this is where I like to expose some of the worst tattoo artists that you can find. And hopefully I'll help some of you be able to spot hacks on your own, learn how to avoid them. This episode we got a tip from a viewer that is about a hack in California that's been butchering clients for like 20 years easy. And it's kind of shocking that his studio hasn't gone out of business yet. You guys are going to see what I mean here in a second. Sit back, relax, let's find some hacks. Alright, here we are. You guys are in for a hell of a ride with this guy, Scotty Mopar. Let's see what he's all about. He's old school. He's been tattooing a long time, probably longer than I have, man. At least 20, maybe even 30 years. And he owns his own studio, Scotty's Tattoo Shop. If you want to check him out, Facebook, Scotty's Tattoo. And that's about it. He's got an Instagram too, but no actual website. All I could find were these social media links. Scotty's Tattoo again on Instagram. I went through this a lot. It's hard to tell who does what tattoos, but I could tell by the style which ones were Scotty's for sure. The other people working there are not spectacular either. All in all, I usually tell people to look specifically at each artist. This is a whole studio that I can't say I would recommend right off the bat. But let's go into it. Here's something that he was going to cover up. It's not too hard. Somebody came in, they want all these little stars and stuff, but besides this black outline on this heart here, this is not really that difficult to cover up, so it doesn't really require much darkness or anything. Let's see what he did. Bam! Just heavy, dark, blotchy weirdness. And I can still see the star there. Oh my goodness. Just his MO, I mean, I'm going to be real with you guys. All of the lines are jacked. All of the shading is jacked in all of his portfolio. So just so you know, what I'm really going to harp on here is the artwork. And this is to help other people kind of be able to see when an artist has good artwork versus if they're just giving you some generic shit that they traced in the back in 2 seconds. Like, this is a good example. And I'm going to talk about these roses. These are kind of American traditional roses. These are really old school roses. And I want to point out one major thing. This is very important. Every one of his roses are the same rose. He's been tracing the same rose for decades, and I'll show you what I mean. Look at this. This real sort of vaginal-looking center with the clitoris popping out there, and then this petal swooping in front. Look at this one. Weird clitoris popping out the middle with the swooping out the front. They're all the same rose. Let me show you more. Here's the same rose. Weird clitoris popping out the middle and the swooping petal in the front. Same thing over and over and over again. Here's a whole sleeve of them. This girl came in wanting a half sleeve full of beautiful roses, but nope, she just got a bunch of clitorises popped onto her arm. And not to mention, these are the laziest just a little triangle with a line down the middle. That's as lazy as leaves get. You can also tell he has trouble with these light colors because everywhere in his portfolio that I saw like really light greens or light yellows or whites, there was also always a lot of blood or scabbing over top of it. So my heart goes out to this person. That's just terrible. This is literally the same rose 3 times. He didn't even try to like flip it, mirror it, man, or whatever. Just do something, make it look a little different. But I guess he did kind of. He adds a petal once in a while. He'll add a petal in the front there. But that's it. Maybe he's tracing the same 2 roses over and over again. And this poor lady, oh my god, he put one of his clitorises right on her face. Come on, man. And then, of course, if you zoom in, this is a facial tattoo, and you just see all the shakes here. You see all the shakes in the lines. The leaves don't even come to a point there. I just feel terrible for people that come in and get this work. Brutal. Oh, by the way, he loves Yosemite Sam. Just such a throwback. I have not done a Yosemite Sam since like the first year I was a tattoo artist. They kind of faded out, but let me see another one. And another one? Oh, he loves him some Yosemite Sams. I don't know why, but these are not old photos, you guys. These are recent photos, so he must just love fixing them up for people. Gets a little nostalgic, maybe. But another thing that I saw a lot of, he loves the tote that he's a freehand artist, custom tattoo artist, but all of his custom stuff, all of his freehand stuff, especially skulls, they look exactly the same. The same angle, the same weird bridge on the nose every time the nose kind of pops out, which is not how skulls really look in the real world. But let me show you another one. Oh, this guy got 2 of those weird skulls with the sticking out nose here. Let's see another one. Oh, this guy got 2 more. Only this time they got eyeballs. Oh, wait, this one doesn't. Maybe he forgot the eyeball in that one, or I don't know. I think this one's fresh and this one's healed. And so you really get a feel for how it's going to heal. And this glossiness in here, and this is not uncommon for hands, but this is definitely a scarring. He overworked the area. It depends. If you have soft skin on your hands, they might heal a little bit better. But all in all, this happens a lot, so I can kind of give him the benefit of the doubt. But you can tell that it's overworked. You can see the lines here. Look at this 5. that the ink was just not at the proper depth. He went way too shallow on that area, and then other areas where he went over it way too many times, and it caused this scarring. So just really unfortunate. Anybody looking for American traditional work, there is way better artists out there. Oh, here's another skull with the weird sticking out nose, but this is his freehand work. Oh, this just angers me because I think when people go in, they might see an artist draw something out on their skin and they see the outline of it and they go, oh, that looks cool. They might not know that it's going to come out garbage like this until afterwards. Pretty much all the shading had this sort of, this hatching. That just means that either he's rushing through these and he's whipping his machine out too fast, or the machine, you can see where every time the machine pops those needles down and it creates that hash mark. That means that his hand and his machine are not running at the same speed. And I saw that a lot throughout most of his shading. There's just, I was hard pressed to find any smooth shading. There's always this sort of like choppiness to it throughout. And for somebody who's been tattooing that long, that's sort of, you know, the first week that you're learning how to tattoo. You're learning how to match the speed of your hand to the speed of your machine and tune your machine properly. So this shows that this is an artist that was never trained in that kind of stuff. Another one of these weird skulls. He's been posting progress on this back piece for a long time, and you can kind of see it from beginning to end, and it just seems like it got worse and worse, and I don't know why he made this skull cross-eyed in there, but just gnarly stuff. This was one of my favorite ones. Yeah, just a funny-looking panther? Tiger? I don't know. The ear is kind of whack. Look at the whiskers. The whiskers, for some reason, are just one smooth, long, thin piece. They stick out. They overpower the cheek. You can't see through those whiskers. You can see through these ones. You can't see through these ones. But, man, this is... Oh, great. Some more vagina flowers over here, too. Oh, man, this is rough stuff. I joke about it, but honestly, this kind of stuff makes me angry. And another thing I wanted to point out is weird. Every time he posts something on Instagram, he tags it with food and foodies. I don't know. Am I missing something there? Is he just trying to get views? This is like an amazing trick that I'm not aware of. I don't know. But I thought that was weird. Every single tattoo was tagged with food and foodies. Here's a kid came in, wanted something to fix up this weird, probably home-done thing on his wrist, but little did he know that Scotty's not much better than a home-done tattoo artist, man. This is that better? I don't know, guys. You gotta leave that one in the comments for me. Let me know if you think there's much of an improvement here, but when I zoom in, we see all the same line errors. You see that choppy shading. Overall, though, my complaint with Scotty again and again was just artwork. The artwork is just lazy. I don't think, oh my God, I don't think he should be freehanding on people at all. This to me looks like somebody who's not like an artist by nature. This is somebody who's just trying to imitate artwork or kind of get through the day, but it's all just really scratchy, quick, sort of generic stuff. And I think you could get away with that back in the day when tattoos all kind of look shitty and simple, and, you know, that American traditional style is based off of those simpler designs from back in the day. But it's nowadays, no, we don't need a tattoo like this anymore. The equipment is better, the ink is better, the needles are better, more precise. You don't have to damage the skin as much. You don't have to do these weird, overly simplified detail kind of tattoos anymore. God, what is this? What is this? Never enough. So, okay, there's a crown, a piggy, somebody screaming, and it looks like Magneto screaming in the background, compass. I think this is supposed to be like a purple diamond, but what is this arrow through it? God, none of this even makes sense. Man, I feel bad for this guy. What is this? Just all this backdrop, these weird little... This is supposed to be a skull, but it looks like a pug. Kind of looks like the face of a pug hidden in there, but he tried to hide all these little skulls in there. God, oh man, this is just... like I said, I laugh, guys, but this is just angering stuff. This is another freehand where he's trying to fix up or cover up something. I think it's supposed to be a dragon, the eye and like the teeth of a dragon, but God, that, I mean, from even a foot away from you looking at that, that's just a black blur on someone's foot. I found this gem. Yeah. Look at that. I couldn't tell you what type of dinosaur it is. Weird lumpy forehead and everything. He tried to do a texture with line work at first. I could kind of see when he did the line work, he also posted it. I'm not going to show it here, but yeah, his color overpowers his line work. So when this person got the line work, they came back to get it tattooed with color, and he put a color in there and it overpowered the lines. That tells me that he's putting in lines very, very poorly. If you can color over your own lines a couple of weeks later, that's terrible. Oh, not to mention, look, you can see all the hair in there. Didn't even take the time to shave the hair well. You can see half this thing is still colored in arm hair. Guys, if you ever see a tattoo, you zoom in and you see a fresh tattoo that has hair on it, the guy's too lazy to even shave the area properly. That says quite a lot. So I'm going to finish with these last two. They're memorial pieces. And like I was saying, I joke about this stuff, guys, and I kind of give them a hard time, but this actually angers me. If somebody comes in and they want a memorial piece for somebody they love that meant so much to them that they want to put a stamp on their body to memorialize this person for the rest of their life, and you give them a 6-year-old's drawing of clouds and a sunset. This is just horrendous to me. If I was this person, I would be super, super angry. And these little just lazy squiggles for birds in there. The lettering is all shaky. The coloring is just as simple as you could possibly do it. Again, the light colors, the yellows, just do not stay well. You can't apply them well. I don't even know what to say. Here's another one. Looks like a 6-year-old drew it. In fact, I genuinely believe a 6-year-old could probably do a little bit better. Sorry to say it, Scotty. This is just rough work, man. We have seen some bad artists on this show, and you might take the cake, man, because you've been doing it the longest. If anything, you've gotten worse over the years. And this is the part where I like to try to give people some advice and leave them with some sort of positive information that they could use to improve or help them. But my best advice to you is stop tattooing. If anything, you are detrimental to your own business, brother. You're just, either you need to start from scratch and learn by somebody good, or you just need to stop tattooing. This is kind of brutal stuff that this show is made for, to warn people about. So, sorry, man, but... Alright, moving on, guys. Stick around. I got an amazing artist. If you're looking for American traditional artwork, I found somebody in that local area there in California that, and in fact, a whole studio of artists that blew my mind when it comes to American traditional. Stick around. Hey guys, before I show this next artist, I want to remind everybody that you can definitely help expose a hack. If you know of one that's in your city, just send us a message to the email that's down below. Send their name, the studio, whatever you got, and we'll gladly put them in the show. But don't worry, all submissions are going to be confidential, so have no fear. We're not going to put you on blast for doing a good deed. That's it. Now let's get back to the artwork. Alright, I looked all around for an artist that I would like to recommend to people that are in that same area in California, looking for American traditional artwork, same as what Scotty was putting out, but better, and this is the guy I came across, Matt Johnson. He is working at a studio called Envision Studios, and you can check him out at envisionstudio.com. Now, they had quite a few artists. They had 2 locations. I definitely recommend checking them out because the owner of this place is really great at picking artists, especially for new school, American traditional, and neo-traditional style artwork. I loved everything I saw. I think he put together a great team of artists there. So I kind of feel bad just showcasing one of them, but check him out, guys. I don't think you could go wrong. But we're going to talk about Matt's portfolio. You want to check him out on Instagram? You can at mantis.tamer. I'm not sure where that came from, but I love it. I dig it. Here we go. Right off the bat, let me show you some flowers, some roses that, kind of cleanse the palate from what we saw, those weird vagina clitoral flowers that Scotty was doing. Matt's got it down. I love that this is on a side of a woman here. It's very difficult. We kind of refer to this as the ditch of the side here. It's a really kind of squishy skin to work with, and so it makes it a lot harder for us to run smooth lines and pack color and blend smoothly, but he did it really beautifully. I love that he chose 3 different angles of flowers and also different parts of blooming that they're in. So I love that he did that, and they actually look like roses. This is more of what I would call neo-traditional because you can see he used multiple line weights in here. That's something that they never do with traditional artwork, so he absolutely improved the traditional, but the flowers themselves are definitely that similar style of artwork. Here's another kind of traditional piece on a hand, brilliantly done. I love that eye in the middle with the glare, but he used this heavy line weight on here, but you don't see any of that sort of glaring or blood in the photo. You can tell that he didn't chew up the skin very much when he was doing this. He knew his depth. He knew how to get in and get out before he really just chewed up the skin. So definitely kudos to him for knowing how much time you can spend in an area before you're going to shred them to pieces. That's something you want from any artist. Here's another great example of a hand piece. Here's his custom artwork. This is something that he drew on this person, freehanded it on there, and here's the outcome. And it doesn't even compare to Scotty's. Just way above and beyond what we were seeing before. So you absolutely can find artists out there that can freehand stuff like this, and it'll turn out brilliantly. Here's one where it was one of his fix-ups. We saw a lot of fix-up work from Scotty, so I want to show some of Matt's because you definitely see the difference. You see the difference in those 2 styles because this actually looks like a brand new, unique, amazing tattoo. It doesn't look like somebody just kind of re-outlined this and then called it good, and that's what you saw a lot of in Scotty's work. He just would re-outline it, add more ink to it, but it wasn't necessarily improving it, and this is absolutely a beautiful tattoo. I love the blending in there, and his colors definitely overpowered the old stuff, which a lot of times with Scotty's work, you could see the old stuff through the new stuff even. So I wanted to showcase this one, absolutely. That is just beautiful. I love the choice of colors right here on the planet as differentiating from the center explosion there. That's just great. And then also showcasing how yellow can actually be applied really well, and it can pop off and stay saturated really well. I think he did a great job. Just a beautiful piece. Now, this one, I don't know if this is necessarily, if watercolor is something that he would claim as his style or not, but I found a few pieces in his portfolio that are just amazing. And nowadays, all artists, trust me, we're all getting bombarded by people wanting watercolor, so we're all, even if it's not our MO, I think we're all trying it at least a little bit, but he does it great. I think you wouldn't really know. It looks like he's definitely got that down pat, and it looks like watercolor. It's not just a bunch of like random splotchy colors put in there, and I think that's a fault that a lot of artists make, but his actually looks like that unique watercolor style, not to mention the smooth gray shading. This was something that really grabbed me about him. He's a very versatile artist. Here's another great example of that. He's not just putting out just American traditional or just one style. He was very versatile. And when you're looking for an artist and say you don't know the style of art that you want, then it's great to find one of these kind of artists. They're very versatile and will be able to kind of merge their style with your wants. And that's definitely something that I look for in an artist if I'm not sure. I want them to kind of create something unique for me. I saw a lot of cool custom pieces like this in his portfolio. So you can definitely tell he's an artist by nature and he loves what he does. Yeah, I just love this one. You can see all those little organs in there, all the little white edging done off the bones, so that when you zoom out, you get that nice round 3D effect, even on some of these tiny bones. Very impressive work. Very, very clean, smooth shading. Loved seeing that. It's definitely, yeah, a nice relief from what we just saw. So I think he's got his color theory down pat, too. I love the differentiation between the eyes and this sort of earth tone, sort of teal color that he's got on the skull there. Great choice of colors. And again, his shading just blew my mind. Look at this piece. I really zoomed in on this, and you can almost see the silhouette of the person that was taking a picture of this person. You could see their silhouette in her eye. That's just great. That means that he copied the photo reference that he had. He copied it to a T, and it just came out so smooth. And the smooth blending or shading in the gray work that he did here, this is gray washing, but then it transfers over to color, and it's still the same very smooth blending. So, like I said, very versatile. He's got his application technique down. Here's one for you Harry Potter fans. I'm sure you'll get a kick out of this, but I just wanted to showcase this smooth shading again. This character has really sort of abrupt bone structure in the face, and he imitated it very, very well here. I love that mouth, too. You can see those gnarly teeth inside, even for something that's so small. He did a couple of these, too. These sort of pointillism portraits, and I don't know, again, if he would say that this is sort of his MO or specialty. Maybe he would. I saw a few in his portfolio, and he killed it each time. I think he does these very well. I think this is on somebody's forearm, so you can imagine this is only maybe, 4 or 5 inches tall at the most, and he got some great detail in there. I'm drawing a blank on whose name that is, or the name of this picture, but put in the comments below if you know who that is. It's driving me nuts. Another great example of his work, this light gray texturing he did in the bottom of the boat. Beautiful. In the tears of the sails. And he did a great job of creating a very simplistic background, but I want to make sure I'm not saying simple. It's not the same as simple. He did a simplistic background, and it definitely doesn't blur out or get lost with the sails of the boat. You can see clear definition in the boat, and you can see the clear definition of the backdrop there. So although he might not be doing really tight, small textures in there, that's definitely not his MO. He does really big, clean, beautiful work that, like I said, you could see it from like 6 feet away. You would know exactly what it is. And I saw that consistently throughout his portfolio. And I love that he blends this style of like, it's kind of like American or traditional or new school traditional that he's also blending with like realism type shading, because his shading is just so smooth. And here's a great example of how to do leaves, where he did just simple leaves the same as Scott's, but these don't look cheap and wonky because he did them all in different positions. They flow in different directions. They look 3D. They don't just look like little 3-line triangles that are all pointing in the same way. So, glad to see that. This is one that I'll end on. Even though it's not a huge piece, it's right in the middle of someone's chest, he got some incredible detail in there. I especially love that you see the reflection of the eyelashes off of that glare. What a small detail to add that's just brilliant. You can see the little bit of faint red cracks in the eyes there, and then this center point right there in the eye. I love this. I thought he did a bang-up job on this one, and the little details to put off of those numbers, or the letters there. Yeah, just blew me away. Very happy to look through your work, Matt. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Very impressive, and give a shout out to all the guys down there at Envision. I think you guys are killing it. Thanks so much. All right, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching the show. Make sure you subscribe because we put out new episodes every week. Also, hit the bell button so you get notified every time we post a new episode. So when we come to your city, you'll be sure to catch it. Thanks again. I'll see y'all next week.